Welcome to A Senior Health, the channel that shatters your preconceptions about getting older. Are you tired of being told that slowing down, feeling achy, and losing your spark is just part of the deal? What if I told you that's a flat-out lie? Listen to this. A shocking number of viewers who could be transforming their lives right now haven't subscribed yet. If you're ready to rewire your approach to aging and reclaim the vitality you deserve, take 1 second to smash that subscribe button and ignite the notification bell. It costs you nothing, but it means we can keep bringing you this life-altering content. Your energy fuels us. And hey, if you're fired up about today's topic, 5 revolutionary practices to feel decades younger, type a yes in the comments right now. If this isn't hitting the mark for you today, a no helps me recalibrate and deliver exactly what you need. Your feedback is gold. Thank you for being here. Let's be brutally honest. Have you caught yourself noticing it? That insidious creep of change as the years tick by? The way your body doesn't quite leap into action like it used to? Maybe those morning walks feel more like a slow march, or hoisting yourself out of bed feels less like rising and more like an archaeological dig. Does your energy feel like a rapidly draining battery sputtering out by midday? It's dangerously easy to sigh and resign yourself, to think, well, this is it. This is just the unavoidable natural slog of aging. Time to accept defeat and slow everything down. But what if I told you that's a narrative you've been sold? A script you never had to follow? Here's the electrifying, game-changing truth. You do not have to surrender to that decline. It is unequivocally, absolutely never too late to seize back your strength, to resurrect your mobility, and to send your energy levels through the roof, all without emptying your bank account, submitting to risky procedures, or making colossal, overwhelming upheavals to your everyday life. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on 5 astoundingly powerful and ridiculously easy-to-implement practices that can and will help you radically transform your health and catapult the quality of your life to new heights, starting the moment you decide. These aren't about drastic, unsustainable overhauls. We're talking about small, incredibly potent, intentional shifts that create an unstoppable avalanche of positive results over time. Now, why in the world should you stay glued to your screen until the very end? Because, my friends, the last 2 tips I'm holding back are the true secret weapons. They are absolute game changers with the undeniable potential to completely revolutionize your daily existence and flood you with a fresh, almost forgotten, sense of pure vitality and boundless energy. Whether your goal is to fiercely guard your independence, dramatically increase your flexibility, or simply to wake up every single day feeling genuinely fantastic, these tips are overflowing with insights that will empower you to do just that. This video isn't just about tacking more years onto your life. It's about injecting an exhilarating amount of life into your years. So do not go anywhere. Trust me implicitly on this. Your vibrant, energized future self will be eternally grateful you watched. Ready to rewire your age? Let's ignite this transformation. Number 1. Master your sleep, the elixir of ageless energy. Did you even realize that the quality of your sleep, that seemingly passive part of your day, could be the single most powerful lever you can pull for your long-term health and daily dynamism? It's a fact. The depth, duration, and consistency of your sleep wield a profound, enduring influence over your entire well-being, a factor that becomes exponentially more critical as you journey through life. As we mature, our bodies and minds become increasingly reliant on those foundational, often simple, yet immensely powerful practices that nurture us from the inside out. And without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most significant of these is high-quality sleep. Let's be clear. Sleep isn't some decadent luxury you indulge in when all your chores are done. It is a vital, non-negotiable, life-sustaining biological imperative that impacts nearly every facet of your existence. from how robust your immune system is to how sharp your mind feels and how stable your emotions remain. If you've been wrestling with sleep, perhaps it's the sheer frustration of lying awake for hours, the irritation of waking up multiple times a night, or that soul-crushing feeling of not being even remotely rested when you finally drag yourself out of bed, you are definitely not alone. But let me tell you something critically important. Getting older should never mean accepting poor sleep as your new normal. If anything, it should galvanize you, motivate you even more intensely to prioritize and fiercely protect the quality of your nightly rest. As we age, sleep truly becomes the cornerstone of our health, the bedrock that supports our physical resilience, our mental acuity, and our emotional equilibrium. When we surrender to sleep, our bodies enter an almost miraculous state of profound repair and rejuvenation. This is when your immune system shifts into high gear, tirelessly working its magic, healing and restoring tissues, battling inflammation, and fortifying you for the demands of the coming day. Deep sleep also plays an indispensable role in consolidating memories, enhancing cognitive functions like focus, learning, and creative problem-solving, and significantly boosting your overall mood and outlook on life. Yet without enough of this restorative, uninterrupted sleep, you'll inevitably begin to notice those insidious little things slipping, that infuriating forgetfulness when you can't recall a name or why you walked into a room, a persistent mental confusion or brain fog, or that constant draining sensation of just not being fully present or engaged. It's as if your entire operating system is running on critically low power, and even the simplest, most familiar tasks start to feel like insurmountable burdens. Even worse, a chronic deficit of quality sleep can massively exacerbate stress, leading to a vicious cycle of increased irritability, mounting frustration, and a pervasive, overwhelming sense of being snowed under by life's daily demands. For mature adults, the necessity for truly restorative sleep becomes even more pressing, given the natural physiological and hormonal shifts our bodies and minds undergo. Even the slightest disruptions in our delicate sleep architecture, whether triggered by stress, underlying anxiety, or simply unhealthy pre-bedtime routines, can exert a profound and often cascading negative influence on our well-being. Sleep disturbances can be cunningly deceptive, often sneaking up on us unnoticed or casually dismissed, until they begin to systematically erode our energy reserves, our patience, and ultimately, our capacity for joy. And yet, here lies the incredibly empowering truth. You possess the inherent power to reclaim your nights and vanquish poor sleep. You do not have to passively accept restless, unfulfilling nights as an unavoidable artifact of aging. It is entirely possible to shatter the chains of poor sleep and embrace a life characterized by peaceful, deeply restorative rest. In my extensive experience, and in the experiences of countless individuals I've guided, the solution almost invariably lies in making small, consistent, yet profoundly meaningful changes to your habits and environment. You don't have to wait for sleep disturbances to escalate and dictate the quality of your waking hours. The moment you start consciously tuning into your body's innate signals and elevating sleep to its rightful place as a top priority, you will be utterly astonished at how dramatically it can transform every other dimension of your existence. Consider, for instance, consciously creating a calm, cool, dark, and serene sanctuary in your bedroom. Think about dimming the lights at least an hour before your intended bedtime, perhaps even lighting a calming lavender-scented candle or two, always practicing fire safety, of course. Cultivating a soothing pre-sleep atmosphere with a warm bath infused with magnesium flakes, or practicing simple, mindful, deep breathing exercises or gentle stretches can be extraordinarily powerful ways to prepare both your mind and your body for the restorative, healing sleep you so richly deserve. And please, I implore you, do yourself a monumental favor and banish electronic screens. your phones, tablets, computers, and televisions, from your bedroom, or at least avoid them for a minimum of 1 hour before bed. That pervasive, stimulating blue light emitted by these ubiquitous devices can significantly sabotage your body's natural production of melatonin, the crucial hormone essential for initiating and maintaining deep, restful sleep. Your body, your entire being, needs that dedicated, screen-free wind-down time to truly relax, de-stress, and prepare for the night's vital healing and rejuvenation processes. Remember this. Sleep isn't merely about feeling rested and functional in the morning, as important as that is. It's a profound gift you give to yourself daily, a fundamental and non-negotiable means of nurturing your mind, your body, and your spirit. Each precious night of truly restful sleep brings you one significant step closer to waking up feeling genuinely refreshed, fully recharged, and truly ready to embrace a new day with renewed strength, unshakable clarity, and boundless vitality. So I urge you, make sleep an absolute non-negotiable priority in your life. After all, it's not just about sleep. It's about taking impeccable, loving care of the most important person in your world, you. Number 2, declare war on stillness. Movement is your undisputed ally. Now let me pose a question that might make you shift in your seat. Do you have any real quantifiable idea of how much time you spend sitting completely still every single day? Have you ever paused, even for a moment, to honestly reflect on the sheer volume of your waking hours that are dominated by a seated, inactive posture? It might sound like a trivial, almost inconsequential question at first, but when you genuinely stop and give it serious consideration, you may find yourself shocked, perhaps even a little alarmed, by the staggering proportion of your precious time spent in a chair, on a couch, or otherwise immobilized. We inhabit a modern society where, for better or worse, sitting has insidiously become the default position for so many of our daily routines and activities. Whether it's at a desk absorbed in work, during meals, or while we attempt to unwind and relax in the evening, that plush, inviting couch often feels like the ultimate, irresistible sanctuary after a long, taxing day. And it's perfectly understandable why. Our brains are, to some extent, wired to seek comfort, to allow our bodies moments of rest and recovery. But here's the stark, unvarnished, and simple truth. Spending an excessive amount of time in that static, seated position can be inflicting far more insidious harm than you might realize, even if you don't immediately feel the overt consequences. Let's take a moment to truly internalize what this implies. Sitting for extended, uninterrupted periods isn't merely about how your back or neck might feel in that specific moment. It's about the cumulative, often silent, long-term toll it can exact on your overall health, your precious mobility, and your hard-won independence. It's dangerously easy to dismiss a few hours of sitting as no big deal, particularly when your body isn't screaming in protest. But over time, this pervasive pattern of sedentary behavior can pave the way for a veritable cascade of significant and often debilitating health problems that not only drastically diminish your quality of life, but also directly threaten the very independence that so many of us cherish above all else. Can you imagine a life where simple everyday actions, like effortlessly rising from your favorite armchair or confidently walking across the room to greet a visitor, become genuine, painful struggles? Does that sound like the kind of vibrant, engaged, fulfilling life you envision for your future? For a vast majority of us, the encroaching fear of losing our independence is one of the most profound anxieties we grapple with as we navigate the aging process. And the inescapable reality is this: the more time we spend glued to our seats, the closer we inexorably inch toward that unfortunate, and in many cases largely preventable, state of dependence. Chronic inactivity isn't just about the more obvious discomforts, like nagging muscle aches or persistent joint stiffness. It's a slow, stealthy, creeping danger that insidiously affects your entire physiological system. The unassailable truth is, when you remain seated for hours on end without incorporating meaningful movement breaks, your circulatory system suffers significantly. Blood can begin to pool and stagnate in your lower extremities, and your heart is forced to labor much harder to pump it effectively throughout your body, putting undue strain on your cardiovascular system. Your muscles, starved of regular engagement and stimulation, begin to weaken, lose tone, and can even start to atrophy. And over time, you progressively lose the crucial flexibility and range of motion that allow you to perform even the most basic daily movements with effortless ease and confidence. This isn't a speculative matter of if these consequences will occur. It's an almost certain matter of when. The longer you permit yourself to remain stagnant and inactive, the more substantial and cumulative the damage inflicted upon your cardiovascular health, your mobility, your muscular strength, and your overall vitality. But the detrimental cascade doesn't end there. A predominantly sedentary lifestyle is a veritable open gateway to a multitude of chronic, lifestyle-related diseases, many of which are largely preventable if you simply make consistent movement a non-negotiable priority in your daily life. Obesity, for instance, is one of the most common and visually apparent side effects of excessive sitting. As your body becomes increasingly accustomed to prolonged periods of inactivity, it becomes progressively easier to gain unwanted weight and significantly more challenging to shed it. And tagging along with obesity often comes a host of other unwelcome and dangerous health conditions like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, and dyslipidemia, elevated cholesterol levels. However, perhaps one of the most insidious and frequently overlooked consequences of spending too much time sitting is its profound and detrimental effect on your mental and emotional health. Clinical depression and pervasive anxiety are far more likely to take root and flourish when your body is consistently stagnant. This is primarily because the chronic lack of physical activity negatively impacts your delicate brain chemistry, often leading to a debilitating state of mental fog, diminished motivation, emotional fatigue, and a generally blunted outlook on life. If you're still tuned in and these wake-up calls are hitting home, do me a favor and type MOVE in the comments right now. Let me know you're committed to breaking free from the chains of stillness. And here's the harsh, often ignored reality. The damage inflicted by excessive sitting isn't usually immediate or dramatic, but it relentlessly and silently accumulates over time. The choices you make today, to move or to remain still, may not manifest noticeable consequences tomorrow or even next week. But the insidious effects of a sedentary lifestyle build up stealthily and progressively, much like a snowball rolling downhill, constantly gathering more mass and more destructive momentum. Over time, you may find yourself grappling with significantly limited mobility, suffering from chronic, debilitating pain, or facing a body that feels increasingly heavy, stiff, and difficult to maneuver. The longer you habitually sit without interruption, the more challenging it will inevitably become to simply get up and move with ease. Those simple, everyday tasks that you once performed without a second thought may transform into monumental, frustrating, and even painful challenges. The inherent danger of sitting for excessively long periods isn't just about striving to avoid certain specific health conditions. It's about fiercely preserving the precious autonomy, freedom, and quality of life that are so incredibly important to all of us as we age. The mere thought of potentially becoming reliant on others for basic daily tasks like getting out of bed unassisted, dressing oneself, or even walking to the kitchen is a terrifying yet all too plausible reality for many. It's not a prospect we typically like to contemplate, but it's an undeniable truth that without incorporating regular, consistent movement into our lives, that is the unfortunate and preventable direction in which we might be inexorably heading. But here is the wonderfully empowering, life-affirming news. You absolutely do not have to let that bleak scenario become your reality. You don't need to embark on punishing marathon training or spend countless grueling hours in a high-intensity gym environment to effectively mitigate these risks. What matters most, what truly tips the scales in your favor, is that you consciously and consistently incorporate regular movement into your daily life in a manner that feels sustainable, enjoyable, and genuinely accessible to you, given your current circumstances and abilities. Small, consistent, incremental changes can have an absolutely monumental and positive impact on your overall health and well-being. You don't need to take giant, intimidating leaps out of your comfort zone. Just take it step by step, day by day, and you can progressively weave more energizing movement into the very fabric of your daily routine. Start with laughably simple things. Make a conscious, deliberate effort to stand up from your chair at least once every hour and perform some gentle stretches. Make it a habit to walk around your house during telephone conversations, or even try marching in place with a bit of vigor while watching your favorite television programs. Opt to take the stairs instead of the elevator whenever feasible, or consciously park your car a little further away from the entrance of the store or office to sneak in a few extra valuable steps. These seemingly small, almost trivial actions may not feel like much in isolation, but they accumulate significantly over time, contributing to a much larger positive impact. It's critically important to realize that this isn't about achieving some unattainable state of perfection. It's about cultivating unwavering consistency. Even the smallest, most modest efforts to move your body regularly can make a profound and lasting difference. It's precisely those tiny, seemingly insignificant steps that collectively help you maintain your mobility, your strength, your balance, and your vitality in the long run. The overarching goal is to remain active and engaged, even if it's just for a minute or two at a time. But remember, that's a minute that could, over days and weeks, add up to hours of increased energy, demonstrably better circulation, stronger, more resilient muscles, and ultimately a healthier, more vibrant, and more joyfully independent life. I understand implicitly how easy it is to succumb to comfort, to settle into that familiar, often mindless rhythm of sitting down and passively relaxing. We inhabit a modern world that, in many ways, inadvertently encourages stillness and sedentary behavior. But we also live in a world that, for our own fundamental health, happiness, and longevity, unequivocally demands movement. Sitting for excessively long periods might feel easy, even necessary, in the moment. But what are you potentially, and often unknowingly, sacrificing for that fleeting, superficial comfort? Every single time you choose to remain still and inactive for prolonged durations, you are, in effect, compromising your future freedom, your future mobility, your future vitality. You are essentially putting off or actively undermining the very thing, consistent movement, that will empower you to live your later years with true independence, boundless energy, and genuine joy. So I implore you, make the conscious, empowering decision today, right now in this very moment, to get up, to move your body, and to wholeheartedly embrace the incredible, liberating freedom that comes with staying active and engaged. The detrimental consequences of chronic stillness may not manifest themselves immediately, but they will most certainly be there, waiting patiently when you least expect them, and often when you are least equipped to deal with them. Choose to make movement an integral, non-negotiable part of your life now, before it's genuinely too late. The choice, as always, is yours. And remember with unwavering conviction that every single little step truly, profoundly counts. Third, bathe in sunlight, nature's free and mighty revitalizer. Let me ask you, how often do you consciously make it a point to step outside, feel the unfiltered sun on your skin, and just be? Sunlight, my friends, is so much more than just a pleasant, comforting warmth. It is an absolutely vital, life-giving, and entirely free force that our bodies intrinsically need to function optimally and truly thrive, a need that becomes even more pronounced as we gracefully age. As we journey through the years, something subtle yet incredibly significant occurs within our complex physiology. Our body's innate, natural ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight exposure begins to gradually but progressively decline. This crucial vitamin, often underestimated or taken for granted in our more youthful days, plays an absolutely indispensable role in nearly every aspect of our overall health and well-being. It is instrumental in regulating the health and density of our bones, the strength and function of our muscles, and the resilience and efficiency of our immune system. Without adequate, consistent levels of this sunshine vitamin, we become markedly more vulnerable to a wide and concerning range of health issues, such as weakened, brittle bones leading to an increased risk of osteoporosis and fractures, persistent and often unexplained muscle pain and weakness, chronic joint stiffness and discomfort, and a significantly greater statistical risk of experiencing debilitating, life-altering falls. For those of us who, by habit or circumstance, tend to spend the vast majority of our time indoors, this lack of regular sun exposure represents a colossal, yet often entirely unrecognized, missed opportunity for profound health enhancement. One of the simplest, most readily accessible, and most demonstrably effective ways to significantly boost our health and vitality is, quite literally, right outside our doors. And it's being consistently, tragically overlooked. We may not consciously register it in our busy lives, but every single minute we remain cloistered inside, separated from the natural, healing, and energizing rays of the sunlight, is precious time during which our bodies are not receiving the vital, stimulating boost they desperately need to stay strong, resilient, energetic, and optimally functional. The truly wonderful truth is, making a conscious effort to get outside and into the natural sunlight doesn't need to be a major time-consuming commitment, a complicated logistical feat, or something that incurs any financial cost whatsoever. Yet the myriad benefits, both seen and unseen, can be genuinely deeply transformative for our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Let's be perfectly candid. As we age, our established daily routines can sometimes inadvertently become more sedentary, and we often find ourselves, perhaps by default, stuck inside, comfortably ensconced in the familiar, climate-controlled embrace of our homes. But I urge you to pause and consider this for just a moment. What if the simple act of stepping outside, into the fresh air and natural light, for just a few dedicated minutes each day, could fundamentally change everything for the better? The inherent healing power of sunlight is nothing short of profound, with its beneficial effects extending from demonstrably strengthening our bones and significantly bolstering our immune systems to noticeably lifting our mood and alleviating stress when the world feels a bit heavy, gray, or overwhelming. An abundance of scientific studies has conclusively shown that regular exposure to natural light plays a critical role in regulating our delicate circadian rhythms, our internal 24-hour biological clocks. This regulation, in turn, leads to demonstrably better quality sleep, more sustained and consistent energy levels throughout the day, and a calmer, more centered, and more resilient mind. It's akin to giving your entire physiological and neurological system a gentle, natural, and incredibly effective reset every single day. And the best part? It's completely free of charge. Now, please understand, I'm not suggesting for a moment that you need to spend countless hours languidly basking under the intense midday sun. That is neither necessary for reaping the benefits, nor is it advisable from a skin health perspective. A mere 10 to 15-minute intentional exposure to sunlight, whether it's experienced during a gentle, mindful stroll in your garden, a brisk, energizing walk around your block, or even while simply sitting peacefully and observantly on your porch, patio, or balcony, can work absolute wonders for your health. It's all about consciously creating a small, sustainable, and genuinely enjoyable daily habit that actively nurtures your holistic health and well-being. These precious, often brief moments spent in the sunlight can literally breathe new life and fresh energy into your body and mind, offering you a welcome burst of natural vitality and a renewed sense of clarity, focus, and perspective. I have personally found time and time again that just those few dedicated minutes of sunlight exposure, especially on days when I haven't had the opportunity to step outside for a more extended period, can shift my mood and energy levels almost instantaneously for the better. It's as if the penetrating warmth from the sun reaches deep inside, soothing minor aches and pains, perceptibly lifting my spirits and gently reminding me of the simple, often overlooked yet profound beauty that exists in the world all around us. Of course, it is also critically important to protect your precious skin with a good quality, broad-spectrum sunscreen, particularly during the peak hours of sun intensity, typically between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. But please, do not be afraid to embrace the sunlight responsibly. Step into its welcoming warmth, feel its caress on your skin, and allow your body to joyfully absorb its myriad incredible benefits. There is truly nothing quite like the pure, natural, vibrant energy the sun so generously provides, and as we gracefully age, our bodies inherently crave it and benefit from it more than ever. Whether it's a leisurely, contemplative walk around your neighborhood, strategically positioning yourself by a window to allow the natural light to flood into your home as you read or work, or even just standing on your balcony for a few precious moments to simply breathe in the fresh air and feel the sun's gentle kiss on your face. These moments are not just pleasant, they are essential. They ground us, they center us, and they connect us to the natural world in a way that feels deeply nourishing, intrinsically right, and profoundly healing. By consciously making sunlight exposure a daily, non-negotiable part of your life, you will be actively strengthening not just your skeletal system, but your emotional resilience and mental fortitude as well. Those brief, cherished moments spent mindfully basking in the sunlight can help you feel demonstrably more energized, more at peace with yourself and the world, and more fully present and alive in your own body. It is, without a doubt, one of the simplest yet most profound and impactful gifts we can give ourselves. The gift of intentionally taking a few minutes each day to step outside, recharge our internal batteries, and joyfully reconnect with the natural world. In a modern existence that often feels overwhelmingly fast-paced, digitally saturated, and emotionally demanding, these precious moments of solitude and connection in the sunlight can serve as a vital grounding reminder to consciously slow down, to breathe deeply and intentionally, and to genuinely appreciate the inherent beauty and tranquility of the present moment. So, I implore you, do not let these invaluable opportunities for enhanced well-being slip idly by. Wholeheartedly embrace the sun's remarkable healing touch. Make it a point to step outside every day and consciously allow yourself to soak in its myriad life-affirming benefits. I can promise you, with unwavering confidence, that those few dedicated minutes each day will make a world of tangible difference, not only in your measurable physical health, but in your overall emotional and mental well-being as well. Let the sunlight be your daily, joyful reminder of life's simple, often overlooked, yet profound joys, and of the incredible inherent power we all possess to proactively take control of our health and vitality, one beautiful, sun-filled, energizing step at a time. Number 4. Unleash power with simple leg exercises, your foundation for unshakable freedom. It's an almost universal experience and often a source of quiet frustration to notice that our legs just don't respond with the same alacrity, strength, and reliability as they once did as we navigate the journey of aging. It's virtually impossible to ignore those subtle, yet undeniably persistent and sometimes unwelcome changes that occur within our bodies over time. Our legs, which in our youth may have been the very epitome of our physical strength, agility, and vitality, can sometimes begin to feel as though they're letting us down, not quite keeping pace with our desires, intentions, or the demands of daily life. Simple, everyday activities that we used to perform completely without a second thought, like effortlessly walking to the local store, briskly climbing a flight of stairs, or easily getting up from a low-seated couch, can begin to feel like monumental, even daunting, and sometimes discouraging tasks. Our knees may begin to ache with each step. Our once firm muscles might seem to lose some of their tone and responsiveness, and the unsettling thought of potentially losing our precious ability to move freely, confidently, and independently can feel like a looming, shadowy fear, quietly creeping into the periphery of our minds. It's all too easy, and perhaps even natural, to start viewing our legs as obstacles, as if they are somehow betraying us, making us feel increasingly fragile, unsteady, and ultimately powerless. But I want to take this moment to remind you of something incredibly empowering, a truth that can shift your entire perspective. Our legs don't have to become burdens that limit our lives. They can, once again, with conscious effort and consistent care, become our most trusted, reliable allies in navigating the world with enduring confidence, grace, and joy. The absolute key, the cornerstone of this reclamation, lies in wholeheartedly embracing the profound and liberating idea that it is never, ever too late to regain a significant measure of control over our bodies, regardless of how many candles adorned our last birthday cake. Whether you find yourself in your vibrant 60s, your active 70s, or even your experienced 80s and beyond, you are decidedly not too old to build new strength, to noticeably improve your mobility, and to significantly enhance your crucial sense of balance. The truly beautiful aspect of this endeavor is that you don't need to secure an expensive, intimidating membership at a fancy gym, nor do you need to subject your body to grueling, high-intensity workouts that might leave you feeling depleted, sore, or even injured. What you genuinely need, what will yield the most significant and lasting results, is a steadfast commitment, a gentle yet firm resolve to consistently moving your body, even if it's just for a little bit each day. Remember, the small, intentional, and consistent steps we take, the little bits of mindful effort we consciously and regularly make, will ultimately accumulate and compound into something incredibly powerful, positive, and transformative for our physical well-being. If you neglect to take the dedicated time to actively nurture and engage your leg muscles, they may, quite naturally and inevitably, start to lose their essential flexibility, their supportive tone, and their crucial functional strength. And I understand firsthand how incredibly easy it is to become discouraged, to fall into the insidious mental trap of believing that the window of opportunity for tangible improvement has somehow irrevocably closed. But let me assure you, with unwavering conviction and absolute certainty, it most certainly has not. Not by a long shot. It genuinely doesn't matter if you currently feel like your muscles are weaker or less responsive than they once were. What truly, profoundly matters is that you make consistent, purposeful movement a non-negotiable priority in your life, starting today, right now. You don't have to push yourself to the brink of exhaustion or pain. Simply make the dedicated, conscious time for even the smallest, most modest of efforts. You will be genuinely, pleasantly amazed at how much that consistent, gentle, yet targeted activity can do for your body, your confidence, and your overall vitality over time. So please, take heart. Strengthening your legs doesn't have to be a complicated, overwhelming, or excessively exhausting process. It can be as wonderfully simple and accessible as dedicating just a few focused minutes each day to specific beneficial movements. For example, try incorporating simple bodyweight squats into your routine, perhaps while holding on to a sturdy chair, a countertop, or a wall for added support and balance, especially when you're starting out. These small, controlled, yet highly effective movements will efficiently engage all your major leg muscles, your quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, and gently, progressively remind them of their inherent, often dormant, strength. Or, if you feel ready to add a bit more challenge and resistance, inexpensive and versatile resistance bands are a fantastic, low-impact, and highly effective tool for specifically targeting your thighs, hips, and glutes, helping to progressively build lean muscle and tone those crucial areas. Even something as seemingly simple as consciously practicing sitting down and then standing up from a chair several times in a row without using your hands, or performing gentle leg lifts and extensions while seated and watching television, is a fantastic way to effectively engage your lower body muscles without risking overexertion or injury. I simply cannot stress enough how absolutely vital these straightforward yet powerful exercises are, not just for your immediate physical health and comfort, but for your long-term emotional well-being, your confidence, and your cherished independence as well. By consistently keeping up with these simple practices, you are actively and significantly lowering your risk of debilitating falls, a major health concern and a leading cause of injury for older adults, demonstrably improving your balance, coordination, and stability, and perhaps most importantly, powerfully gaining back and steadfastly preserving your precious, often hard-won sense of independence. It's all about the cumulative, long-term benefits. Those positive changes you might not immediately see or feel dramatically after just 1 or 2 sessions, but for which you will be so incredibly grateful and proud as the years gracefully and inevitably pass. Remember, with unwavering clarity, that consistency, not necessarily punishing intensity, is what truly makes the lasting, meaningful difference. Just a few dedicated minutes of targeted leg exercises performed regularly, ideally every day, can keep you feeling markedly more comfortable, significantly more confident, and demonstrably more capable, allowing you to move through your life with noticeably greater ease, enhanced joy, and profound freedom. Don't passively wait for the insidious creep of aches, pains, stiffness, and weakness to dictate how you live your life and limit your horizons. You deserve so much more than that. Take decisive, empowered charge of your health today, and in doing so, consciously give your legs the focused attention, dedicated care, and consistent engagement they so richly deserve and desperately need to support you fully. Whether you're simply practicing the functional movement of standing up and sitting down with good form, or trying out some gentle leg lifts while enjoying your favorite television program, please know that every little bit truly, significantly counts. Every small, consistent, mindful effort you make is a powerful, reaffirming, and vital step towards staying stronger, remaining more independent, and most importantly of all, joyfully living the vibrant, full, active, and engaged life you absolutely, unequivocally deserve. And finally, number 5. Embrace yoga or Tai Chi, your gentle giants for mind-body harmony and ageless grace. Now for those revolutionary game changers I hinted at earlier. As time gracefully unfolds, age undeniably blesses us with profound wisdom, a rich tapestry of experience, and a depth of understanding that we likely couldn't have fully fathomed in the bloom of our youth. But it also, quite naturally and inevitably, presents new and sometimes unexpected challenges to our physical and even mental well-being. As the years elegantly go by, we inevitably accumulate a wealth of invaluable wisdom. But alongside that hard-won wisdom often comes the undeniable, sometimes confronting truth that our bodies face fresh, evolving hurdles. We may find ourselves grappling with a persistent, unwelcome stiffness in our joints that simply wasn't there before, a frustrating, limiting tightness in muscles that once were remarkably agile, supple, and responsive. Or perhaps notice that the once effortless act of simply standing up from a comfortable chair is becoming more of a conscious, deliberate task than it ever used to be. There's a quiet, sometimes exasperating and deeply personal reality in the way our bodies subtly transform as we age, and it can, at times, feel as though we're slowly, almost imperceptibly, losing a degree of control over the very physical vessel that faithfully carries us through this precious, fleeting gift called life. But here's the wonderfully empowering and incredibly hopeful insight. Amidst all these natural and expected changes, there exists a profound, accessible, and time-honored lifeline, the ancient yet ever-relevant mind-body practices of yoga and Tai Chi. These gentle, flowing, yet incredibly powerful disciplines, which often require only a small, manageable, and enjoyable investment of your precious time each day, possess the extraordinary, almost magical power to positively transform both your physical health and your emotional well-being in ways you might not currently anticipate or even believe possible. If you are still with me on this journey and finding these lessons truly valuable and inspiring, please do me a small favor and comment "Inspired" below. It lets me know you're engaged and ready to embrace these paths to a more energetic, fulfilling life. What I personally find so incredibly beautiful, compelling, and inspiring about both yoga and Tai Chi is that they are emphatically not just exercises exclusively reserved for the young, the already super fit, or the preternaturally flexible individuals you might see on magazine covers. They are decidedly not exclusive practices designed only for those blessed with the most agile bodies or the strongest, most defined muscles. Instead, they are inherently, wonderfully inclusive, profoundly welcoming to all, and remarkably have no restrictive age limitations whatsoever. Whether you find yourself at a vibrant 50, an active 70, or even an experienced and wise 90 and beyond, these remarkable, adaptable practices can gracefully meet you precisely where you are in your current physical state and journey, offering you a safe, nurturing, and supportive space where you can gently heal, mindfully stretch, progressively strengthen, and continually grow, no matter your individual starting point or perceived limitations. And isn't that a truly beautiful, liberating, and empowering concept to embrace? The simple, conscious, and dedicated act of committing just a few precious minutes of your day to these profound practices can make a genuinely monumental and positive difference, not just in how your physical body feels, functions, and moves, but also, just as importantly, in how your mind and spirit are nurtured, balanced, uplifted, and harmonized. Both yoga and Tai Chi serve as exceptionally powerful, holistic tools for tangibly improving flexibility, building sustainable, functional strength, effectively reducing chronic stress and its detrimental effects, significantly boosting healthy circulation throughout your body, and cultivating a profound, lasting sense of emotional balance, mental clarity, and inner peace. I often personally envision Tai Chi as a graceful, flowing, almost ethereal dance for the soul. Its fluid, gentle, deliberate, and almost meditative movements feel as though you're moving in perfect, effortless harmony with the subtle, unseen rhythms of nature itself, as if the very breeze is softly guiding your limbs, or the gentle lapping of water is setting your pace. There's something undeniably, profoundly calming, yet simultaneously subtly energizing in these mindful, intentional motions. It's a unique and beautiful form of meditation in motion, an exercise that connects you deeply and intuitively to both your physical body and your immediate surroundings, offering a pervasive feeling of calm, clarity, focus, and centeredness that often wonderfully lingers long after you've completed your practice for the day. Yoga, too, holds an almost unmatched and timeless capacity to reconnect us with ourselves on multiple, profound levels: body, mind, and spirit. It is emphatically not about contorting your body into impossible, pretzel-like shapes that you see on social media, nor is it about competing with anyone else in the room or striving for some external ideal of perfection. Instead, it's about genuinely, attentively listening to your own body, consciously honoring where it is on any given day, its strengths, its limitations, its needs, and moving with mindful intention, focused awareness, and profound self-compassion. It absolutely doesn't matter in the slightest how flexible you currently perceive yourself to be. Yoga, in its infinite wisdom and adaptability, meets you exactly where you are, allowing you to gradually, safely, and progressively deepen your practice and your compassionate understanding of yourself over time. Whether you're gently holding a nourishing stretch, mindfully sinking deeper into a supportive pose, or simply taking a precious moment to focus on the life-giving rhythm of your breath, yoga nurtures not only your muscles, joints, and connective tissues, but also, just as crucially, your mind, your nervous system, and your emotional state. It helps you build practical, functional strength, noticeably improve your posture, which can have a huge and positive impact on how you feel and how you are perceived, and maintain your essential balance both physically and mentally as you navigate the complexities of life. Consciously incorporating either yoga or Tai Chi, or perhaps even a blend of both, into your daily or weekly routine is a decision that extends far beyond merely improving your measurable physical health. It's a significant ongoing investment in your precious mental and emotional well-being too. These profound practices help you find that much-needed, often elusive sanctuary of inner peace and tranquility amidst the often relentless noise, stress, and demands of daily life. They empower you to be fully present in the moment, to cultivate a sense of calm centeredness, and to feel grounded and connected, qualities we often forget to prioritize or actively cultivate in a modern world that seems to move at an ever-increasing, often overwhelming pace. Yoga and Tai Chi help us stay balanced, both literally in our physical stance and figuratively in our emotional responses. And they gently, persistently remind us to consciously slow down, to breathe deeply and fully, and to compassionately reconnect with ourselves on the most profound, authentic, and nourishing level. One of the many things I personally love and appreciate most about both yoga and Tai Chi is their incredible, liberating accessibility. They can be practiced with profound benefit almost anywhere, at almost any time that suits your schedule. You don't need access to a fancy exclusive gym, you don't require any specialized or expensive equipment, and you don't even need a vast amount of dedicated space to engage in these practices. Whether it's in a quiet, cozy corner of your own living room, amidst the tranquil beauty of a peaceful local park, or in the serene stillness of any comfortable private room, all you truly need is a genuine willingness to move your body in a way that feels good, nurturing, and respectful of its current capabilities, along with an open, curious mind. Just a few minutes of gentle, mindful movement and focused, conscious breathing are often more than enough to unlock a world of positive, lasting transformation for your entire being. So, no matter where you currently find yourself in life's rich and varied tapestry, or what your physical body feels like today, whether it's strong and agile or tired and stiff, please always remember this fundamental truth. It is never, ever too late to start your journey towards enhanced well-being. Whether you are entirely new to the practices of yoga or Tai Chi, or perhaps you are considering rekindling a practice you may have let go of in the past, please know with unwavering certainty that the myriad profound benefits, physical, mental, and emotional, are just there, waiting patiently and invitingly for you to embrace them. Age does not and should not diminish our innate, God-given ability to grow, to heal, to learn, or to find profound peace and contentment. It only adds more depth, wisdom, perspective, and richness to the ongoing, ever-unfolding journey. So, I encourage you, take that first gentle, courageous step, or bravely continue on your established path, and allow the timeless wisdom of yoga or Tai Chi to gently, powerfully guide you toward a healthier, more peaceful, more vibrant, and more authentically harmonious version of yourself. Thank you so very much for joining me on this empowering exploration today on A Senior Health. We've journeyed through the incredible, multifaceted benefits of incorporating these 5 transformative practices: mastering your sleep, declaring war on stillness, bathing in sunlight, unleashing power with simple leg exercises, and embracing the mind-body harmony of yoga or Tai Chi into our daily lives, especially as we navigate the incredible adventure of aging. These disciplines and habits offer so much more than just superficial physical improvements. They bring profound balance to our minds, a deep and abiding peace to our spirits, and a more intuitive, loving connection to our amazing, resilient bodies. Whether you're just embarking on this path to renewed vitality or rekindling a long-lost commitment to your well-being, please always remember and hold this truth close. It is truly, absolutely never too late to begin, to change, to grow, and to thrive. So, what have you learned today that has sparked a fire within you? What specific aspect of these practices, or perhaps a particular insight, are you most excited and motivated to bring into your own life starting right now? I would be thrilled to hear your thoughts, your commitments, your aha moments. Please share your inspiration in the comments below. Tell us one key takeaway or one new practice you're going to embrace. Your story and your commitment might just be the catalyst someone else needs. If you enjoyed this video, if it provided you with value and a renewed sense of hope, please show your support by leaving a powerful comment below, hitting that like button with enthusiasm, sharing this video with anyone you know who might benefit from its message, and of course, subscribing to Age Rewired for more empowering content designed to help you live your most extraordinary, energetic, and joyful life at any age. Let's continue this incredible journey of growth, vitality, and ageless wellness together. Thanks for watching, and go out there and rewire your age.